Hello everyone, my name is Lena Faulkner and this is my week 6 tutorial on how to submit a FOIA request to the EPA. So let's get started. I decided to pick the EPA because on a decade-long legal dispute between my town and Florence Copper, basically the dispute was finally settled in 2021 in Florence Copper's favor, and this dispute cost the town over $3.4 million in legal fees and settlement fees. So the battle was over water and whether or not the mining by Florence Copper would affect the drinking water for the town. And on May 5th of 2020, the town submitted a 51-page petition to the EPA, and I wanted to find out what was the EPA's response since I did not see it listed online anywhere. So as you can see, I just went to Google and I just typed in FOIA request to the EPA, did a search, end up finding the information. You go through the motions, you end up getting on this tab of how to make a FOIA request. Since this is pretty new to me, I needed to read through this, these tabs or through this process, I believe. And I ended up clicking on the Code of Federal Regulations, because I saw here it said the formal rules for submitting the request. And so I didn't want to miss anything in the process. So clicking on the formal rules is very, very long. All of this, but you just go through and it gives you a lot of information. The most important thing is how to submit, which can be done either online or by mail. The timing for the request, which is 20 working days that the EPA has to respond. 10 days if you submitted your request to be expedited. And if it's going to take longer than 20 days, you're going to be notified in writing by the EPA with instructions on how to work with the public liaison to resolve your request or your dispute. So another important part is the fees. When you submit your request, you automatically are agreeing to pay a $25 FOIA fee, and that can be paid either by check or money order to the Environmental Protection Agency. If for some reason they feel that the fee is going to be more than $25, they will contact you. They immediately stop working on your request. They contact you and they make you pay the fee before they will continue and complete your request. Fees, if you have just the normal $25 fee, you have 30 days to pay the fee. By the 31st day, you will start accruing interest. So going back to the EPA's FOIA website, everything on here is pretty much the same. It basically summarizes all of the topics from the federal website. So as for the request, there's no formal document to complete. The request can be typed or handwritten from you to them. And the more specific the request, the better. They are able to locate, exactly what you're looking for. So this is the request that I wrote up as my FOIA request to the EPA. I took the template from the video that Professor Curtis shared with us this week, and I just modified it to fit my request. You can notice the headers at the top, my information, the EPA's address and information of where I need to send this letter to. I get right to the point in here of what it is that I'm looking for. I do think that I'm pretty specific, at least specific enough. I mean, what I'm looking for doesn't actually have a title that I know of. So I think with what I have, I'm specific enough for them to know what document I'm referring to. So that's it. I would mail this letter off to the address, listed, and wait 20 days for a response. Actually, a little bit sooner I would get a response because the EPA will send out a letter acknowledging that they got your FOIA request. So after a week or two, if I didn't receive that initial acknowledgement letter, I'd probably go back, double check my mailing address, make sure that it's current, mail it again, or just choose the online submission method and, go that route if I needed to. And that is it. So thank you. And I wish everyone a very happy Easter.